thoughts on my mind, I can't sleep at night, so I just keep writing. I don't need no help, I don't need opinions, so don't waste my time then. Killing the game and I gotta go ask anybody, they all heard about it. They know when the kid and he's spitting it, know when he getting it, bit and I get in my way. Got this, I like do whatever I say, cause I could go put you on blast. People been mad at me cause I don't follow them back. I'm laughing cause that is so whack. Why they all trying to act like they been bossing when really their boss has been bossing them up? Nobody ever been telling me what I would do when I keep in the cash, for the shit out of luck. I want it more, now I get what I wish. Upgrading now with some pants that I whip. Making 6 figures, don't talk about it. Money ain't shit, it's about how you think. Tired of people who making excuses, then they complain about losing. Tell me about what you been doing, tell me about how you been moving. You ain't got nothing to prove then. I did it all on my own, they looking like all of my clones. I don't be following trends, fuck all the popular clothes. You faking and everyone knows. I just be keeping it real, they thinking that I have to go sign a deal, but really the people just found an appeal. I'm in my own lane and I'm steering the wheel, ayy. It's funny how it goes, funny how it goes. Working every night till the sunrise.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As we near the end of Season 5, you've been there with us from Season 1, Episode 1 with the Fletch, all the way through Season 1 with, the genocides. We've had the Emily Moores, we've had the Cynicals, the Hazards, the Tommies, the Corey Lees, the Venoms. We've had the shoots, we've had the shots. But one thing we've not had is Chris Jones's biggest feud for the year that he came back. None other than Tylor fucking Skaggs. How are you doing, sir?
What's up? I like that introduction.
You gotta do a little something every time. You know, I've had a few different intros. Psychor, everybody down. Psychor's coming around. And then, the beginning of season 4, every time I try to leave, something keeps pulling me back. So we're going to get right into this episode. Are you ready, sir?
Yeah, I'm good.
As we jump into this, you're no longer an active competitor in XCW. Obviously, some outside influences preventing that. Yeah. What is Tylor Skaggs' life like currently outside the wrestling industry?
I go to work. I go home throughout the week. Friday nights, play Magic. And depending on if I'm on call or not, I work on the weekends or maybe play more Magic, play games. And most time it's work.
What kind of job do you do for the people that don't know you personally?
You would fucking ask that. It's kind of hard to explain. Temporary utility technician is technically what I do. I work on anything from chillers, ACs, air compressors, generators, stuff like that.
So you're kind of an important person, so to speak.
Yeah, hospital goes down, they want me.
Okay.
So
I was going to say, people could die sometimes. Next question. How many of my articles have you read?
You send me every one, so...
I do send you every one, but have you read every one? A lot of people just...
I don't read the Suikoden ones because I'm not into the game, but usually if they're not the Suikoden ones, I read them.
If they're not my favorites. Makes sense.
Hey, I don't know the game. I'm sorry.
What's the worst weapon shot you ever taken? And I already know the answer.
It's a trash can.
From who?
Tommy. I stood up and he goes, "Hey man, you okay?" And we were doing the whole good guys versus bad guys and shit. And I was like, "Yeah man, I'm all right." And turned around and that thing was already right here. I was like, "Fuck."
And for the people who don't know, he's referencing the Fatal 4-Way ladder match for the International Extreme Championship. That's what it was. And I believe you came up to me. He was like, "Does Tommy not like me?"
Yeah, I was like, I don't think he likes me. Because afterwards, I chilled out for a second on that. So I was like, this hurts. My head is like, ow. And then I started to get back up. And out of nowhere, he comes and Barry bonds me in the back with something else. And I was like, all right, you know what? Evidently, I'm just not meant to be in this one. I'll stay down. But eventually I got back up and all.
And this match was...
And then you hit me in the back of the head with a chair.
And this match was good and bad for multiple reasons. We had some issues, and we'll get to that later on.
Oh, yeah.
What's your favorite XCW match? Whether one you've seen, participated in, seen on the YouTube channel?
As much pain as that one caused me, I do love that one. That one was so fun to do.
Yeah.
Just because of all that... all the shenanigans that we got into in it, and then oh, by the way, apologize to Brady. Did not mean to set you up for failure in that match, but
Are you talking about the Fatal 4-Way?
Yeah,
It was Evan.
Was it?
It was Evan.
Evan. Sorry, Evan.
Kind of the same, but go ahead.
Yeah, they kind of look alike, but the Battle Royal that year was fun.
Extreme King Battle Royal?
Yeah. We got to do the Hurricane off the top, over the top rope. That was pretty fun. I thought I was going to break my neck.
We're going to get into that, too.
I thought I was going to break my neck.
What's your least favorite XCW match? And before you answer, let me guess. It's probably the one with Stevie, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, that one's definitely up there for me.
What? Like,
I had fun with all Evans matches as well, so like those were fun.
And Stevie was just like you were a new guy.
I was a new guy. He wasn't listening.
Which is kind of a vet, but a handicapped vet, so to speak. Like he's not like the wrestling at Josh.
I thought I killed him with the wasteland at the end because he was like, ah.
Stevie's injured after every match. You can ask the cameraman. You came in as a heater. I'd never spoken to you, didn't know who you were. We had a meeting. We usually have a meeting every year, and most of the wrestlers and superstars attend that meeting. In a meeting, when I seen you, I had no idea who you were, but you were being introduced to the roster. And that was when I got in trouble for some probation stuff, and I think it was that year, and I had to be out of wrestling for a while. You got to come in hot. You got to come in and feud arguably the best XCW wrestler of all time, me. How did that make you feel that Fletch entrusted you with something like he had enough belief in you that let's give him Chris?
I mean, I didn't really grasp the
magnitude.
Yeah, of all that until like after it had started, and I was like, okay, so I kind of realized like the importance that they put on you as a wrestler, and I was like, all right, it's pretty cool. I mean, I'm happy that he was able to have enough faith in me to put me in there with you.
Yeah.
And be able to work safely for one, because like you wouldn't put somebody that you think's gonna mess up the dude who everybody likes.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. I've wrestled some new people before that.
Funny enough about that meeting though, I wasn't even sure I was gonna do it yet. Aaron called me on the way to the meeting and goes, "Hey, come with me to this meeting real quick." I was like, "All right, whatever. I ain't got nothing to do." And I showed up. I'm like, "Oh, fuck, I don't know what's going on."
What is the worst match of all time, whether you've participated or seen it?
I don't have any. I don't remember who it was, but there was a match that it was after one of our matches had happened that somebody was out there and Fletch was like, "It's so bad," and I was like, looked out there and like somebody went to like do like a big boot or something. It was like completely like away, and they still bumped, and I was like, yes.
Well, that narrows it down to a few people. We don't have many people that do a big boot, so we'll leave that up to XCW Galaxy to figure out who that was. You came in. You were not a solo act. You had essentially the Mouth of the South equivalent for XCW. What's your relationship with Brian Wolf, a.k.a. Brayton Gayheimer?
He's a friend. We were living, at the time we were roommates. We were living together. We kind of ran around with the same group in high school, and yeah, he's a friend.
He's a friend, so you say. Explain to the XCW Galaxy the bathroom story.
Oh, you want that story? Okay, well, as friends do, he liked to talk a lot of shit. And I was currently in the bathroom taking a shit. And he said something to me, I don't remember what it was. and I decided that the best course of action was to just immediately jump up, wipe, and then go out there. In that order. I did not put my pants back on. I went out there half naked, ready to beat him. And he ran away like a little girl. As one should when somebody comes at them half naked.
And didn't you say, like, you had other friends there that, like...
Yeah, Quentin, Colin, a few people were there, and they were just like, what are you doing? This is what he has to live with? And I was like, yeah. I'm like, oh my God.
Needless to say, I don't think he talked too much shit after that.
Oh, he did. Nothing stopped him from talking the crap. But,
Who helped you the most in your time in XCW while you were with us? Could be help, like, learning the ropes, moves, entrance, anything in general to help you as the character Tylor Skaggs in XCW.
Fletch and Roddy, actually. You helped out too, but like Roddy and Fletch, like I did like practices with. Roddy was there, Fletch was on the phone, and Roddy kept. I remember there was one moment where it was me and Jason Arcane, and Roddy was recording us and sending it the stuff to Fletch, and Fletch was like, "I like it, good," and yeah, so probably Roddy and Fletch for the most part.
What sparked the infamous Jones Soda promo?
Just seeing Jones Soda came to my mind, and we were in Kroger's, and for whatever reason, I've never seen it. They had a big Jones display of soda, like, right there. And so, I seen it, and I was like, I can make this work. Thought about it for a little bit.
And I tried to get you to get the promo, but we could not get the promo for the fans.
I think it may be lost.
One more question before we go to commercial break. What was your opinion of the Fatal 4-Way match between me, you, Tommy, and Evan for the Extreme Championship? And I'm going to throw a couple things at you that happened in this match. Obviously, your worst weapon shot with Tommy in the trash can.
Yep.
I gave you the Frosty Float, which is the Dolph Ziggler zigzag, off the ladder, and you bumped on a wooden ladder.
Mm-hmm.
You got the unit skull crusher in this match. Mm-hmm. You got, like you said, you got the chair to the back. The question when we come back from the break is about Brian Wolf not being there in time. There was supposed to be a ladder spot that we didn't get to do. So instead, I just grabbed the fucking ladder, jumped off the top rope, and kind of threw the ladder out and splashed the ladder on your guys' heads.
Yeah, and that's when me and Tommy kind of set Evan up for failure. We didn't let him get up in time, and so he just kind of like the trash can. He stood up, and it was just there. So
what's your opinion overall of this match?
As a wrestler, I thought it was fun. And watching it back, it was an entertaining one for me. And I didn't seem to fuck up in it very much, so I thought it was pretty alright.
I personally put you through some pain in that match.
Honestly, the most pain was the
trash can? Or the unit skull crusher?
The trash can. Honestly, the unit skull crusher didn't feel that bad. But that trash can, he made it nice.
Maybe it's only Tommy I hurt with the unit skull crusher. That's going to be all more when we come back.
knows they're trying to come to the aid of Evan Phoenix, and he may have just decimated everyone in this match, himself included. Oh my God!
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh my God!
Oh no.
Oh! It looks like Tyler's gonna win this. Oh no! It had to happen eventually. This. Oh man, the frog splash. Oh my God! Oh, super kicked off. Can't really do much here. Brian Wolf distracting Chris Jones.
We're back from the commercial because I know the editor's showing off that fatal four-way footage there. Which brings me to my next thing. In this match, there was a big spot. And Chris Jones is all about pushing envelope, doing something stupid. I'm that high-flying guy. There was a spot we were watching previously. I had seen, maybe it was the weekend before we had the Fatal 4-Way match, but I was watching a wrestling pay-per-view with Fletch and a couple other people, and there was a spot, Ricochet, one of my favorite people that wrestles in WWE that hasn't been released yet. They were wrestling for the first time ever in a big ladder match for the North American Championship. They just introduced the belt. And there's a spot where you got all the people on the outside. You know there's a dive coming. If you're a wrestling fan, you know there is a dive of some sort coming. So Ricochet positioned this ladder, he starts climbing the ladder, and I don't remember who tipped it over, but somebody grabbed the other side of the ladder and tipped it over. And as this ladder's tipping over, Ricochet did the moonsault off the ladder while it was tipping over onto the people that obviously had set for the dive spot. In this match, Brian Wolf was supposed to be that ladder tipper. I was going to set the ladder up just like Ricochet did. I was going to moonsault on you, Tommy, and Evan. He did not show up on time. And
I think
usually,
he showed up like 2 minutes late.
And usually when something goes bad, it affects the flow of the match. Me and Tommy, being the veterans we were able to continue the flow with the cable falling and then the belt collapsing, so we had to win by pinfall after that. With the accidents that had happened in the match, we were able to continue the flow of the match and not keep you and Evan on track. Because Evan at the time was still pretty much a rookie, and obviously you were still new. What was your reaction to your manager, which is part of your gimmick, not showing up on time? Because personally, he pissed me off.
I was pretty fucking annoyed because, it's not like it was hey, you need to come over here now, 5 minutes before. It was we knew about this, Yeah, we knew about this, and we knew he had a spot, weeks ahead of time. So.
And he had 2 spots. The ending was supposed to be, I'm not going to get the exact sequence of events, but the ending was supposed to be, I was supposed to be climbing the ladder about to win, and he was going to pull me down. I was supposed to chase him, all the while Evan climbed up and would retain his championship, because I believe Evan was a champion at the time. And that was going to lead to more stuff for me and you down the line, but he fucked a lot of stuff up in this match.
Yep, him not showing up definitely fucked up a lot of stuff.
I know there is, but is there anybody you don't like in XCW or didn't like in XCW? Could be someone that is now, could be someone that was there when you were here, but I know there's somebody you don't like in XCW. There's got to be somebody.
Who are you thinking of?
I was thinking Venom.
If I had to choose one, yeah.
Because he played football and stuff with you guys.
It was his time wrestling that makes me not like him. And not wrestling here, wrestling in high school.
That's what I was wrestling in.
Yeah. He very much was on my shit list from then on.
I didn't know if you liked Patrick or not. I thought there was something with Patrick.
Patrick doesn't really bother me, but he just exists.
But I for sure knew that there was something with Venom. Before we get to the next question, I'm going to remind you that in a couple questions you'll get a chance to ask me something. But while you're thinking of that, tell the mini corn dog story to the people at home.
Alright, so memory serves me correct. It was all of us after a night of playing Magic.
It was Friday night.
We were at B-Dubs for whatever reason. We didn't go to Applebee's that night. That's normally where we go.
We rotated sometimes back then. Because
Yeah.
that was pre-pandemic, before hours and stuff
Yeah.
were shit.
So, for whatever reason, we were near the end of, we were all done eating, and there was a little mini corn dog left there. And my buddy, which is my roommate, Quentin, he grabbed the corn dog and he ate the outside of it, the breading, and then he put it in his mouth and he goes, "Hey!" And I turn and he spits it at me, and I just caught it. And that's the mini corn dog story.
Spit it in the air and Skaggs just caught it.
And
Dead ass
like
right in the mouth.
half the people are like dying, laughing on the floor, and like our waitress comes over and is like, "Is everything okay?" And so I think it was you, but it might have been Jordan. Goes, "He spit a corn dog in his mouth," and I was like, "Oh God, come on."
So a lot of people at home that think Skaggs is just the big mean guy from XCW. No, he likes to spit corn dogs in each other's mouths. How did it feel to return at Extreme King and join in the Extreme King Battle Royal after being gone for such a long time?
It was pretty cool, actually. It was I'd been away. I hadn't done it in forever, and it was kind of fun to come out and do a little bit of a match.
If you were to wrestle again, who would you want to face?
Let's hear now.
Brogan. Brogan? That's a common answer. Why Brogan?
Whenever I do show up around here, he's the person I seem to click with the most. Now that you're not wrestling, Stickle's not wrestling, so. And
if you could have your choice of anybody, me, Stickle, Cynical, anybody that's past, present, future, like we're wrestling, like obviously you pick Brogan, but is there anybody else?
Tommy was one that I wish I would have got to wrestle.
Yeah.
Because he's a big enough guy to where we can get after him a little bit more stuff.
Tommy can cyclone some big people. He cycloned Fletch before. He
did it to me.
Yeah, he almost is big enough. Ironically, could almost get Roddy, but the closest person to pick Roddy up on their shoulders that I remember was DTC. And this was back. Roddy was still like high 200s, low 300s. Like DTC was able to pick Roddy up on his shoulders.
Yeah.
Like DTC is like 4'5".
I thought that was the guy, but I get people's names mixed up. Yeah, that is a feat for that little fella.
How and why do you think Brian Wolf was so successful at pissing off Evan's grandma?
Because he's successful at pissing off everybody.
But it just seems like it resonated with her more than anybody.
Because she's the only one to give him like a reaction to grab onto, and he's like, "All right, cool, we're gonna run with it."
There was one.
He is on point when it comes to doing anything to make somebody mad.
There was Extreme King, which we mentioned earlier. We talked about the double elimination, which we're getting ready to talk about. Brian Wolf was in that match. Evan's grandma was like ringside manager wanting to beat his ass. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do. And I remember just kind of laughing about it, like, oh my God.
Like, if she had tried to attack me, I'd probably super kicked her.
I wanted her to grab him and yank him and just, like, start beating his ass. Sadly, she didn't, but it would have been great.
Which ultimately, I eliminated Brian Wolf, if memory serves correct. And we set up for a spot. We didn't practice. Roddy was like, "You guys want to practice that Hurricane spot?" I'm like, "Nah, man. You do something like that in practice, you get it right, you're going to get it wrong in the match. Practice does not make perfect always." So we went into this match, we did what we were supposed to do, everybody, everybody was doing their spots. I think this is one that Corey Lee ended up winning, if memory is right. But we set for the spot, boom, you're in the corner, I jump up, you catch me, powerbomb, Hurricane over top, smooth as fucking butter.
That's also where we had we didn't even talk about it either, where we met up at the ramp.
And started fighting each other?
Yeah. That wasn't even a thought, and then it was like, hey, this works out.
Sometimes spur of the moment, man, you just gotta go with what feels right, and us beating each other's ass the rest of the way up the ramp. What is your relationship with head referee Aaron Schaffner, aka A-Rack City?
Oh, Aaron. He's a homie from way back in the day. I met Aaron first in middle school when I used to skate around, and he was somebody who was skating around at the same time, hang out with a adjacent group, and once we got into high school, he became a really good friend of mine. So that's kind of where everything spurred from.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Aaron, A-Rack City. It's funny because there's a shit sheet episode that I was on, and I recently shared it on TikTok, and I sent it out to a couple people because I know it's been long forgotten. But there's an episode where Aaron's acting like the biggest Chris Jones mark ever, and I'm just like, shut up, bitch. Like he's just like, okay, Chris. And then he does these fucking internet challenges.
My favorite line to come from that is, I'm gonna do a kickflip so sick and make your grandma's panties drop.
Granny's panties drop, yeah. And then he goes for the kickflip and I pounce the fuck out of him. I have no idea how he came up with that, but Ajax was probably my favorite part of the shit sheet.
Aaron's creative.
Why? Explain. We had a little bit in depth, but why does Tylor Skaggs no longer wrestle?
My life just kind of doesn't really allow for very much any consistency.
Of XCW schedule.
For most scheduling. I miss a lot of Friday Night Magics because of my work. I miss a lot of tournaments. I have to reschedule a lot of stuff, like my personal stuff, because work doesn't really allow for any consistency.
All right, now I'm going to give you a chance to ask me the question I mentioned earlier.
All right. What's the dream match for XCW, but you can't include yourself? Because I know you've done it before and you were in it.
Well, of course I was in it.
I know you were.
So I can't...
Match?
I mean, I'm just going based off what the people say. My dream match in XCW, and I don't get to be in it. What about like a special guest referee? Can I be a special guest referee? Nothing
you can't
at all.
be allowed.
Okay. Okay, so we're going dream match. I'm going... I want to see... Cynical... versus Tommy versus Fletch. I want triple threat. And some type of gimmick, not like a ladder or anything like that, just like where weapons can be involved. So we'll go triple threat street fight. I think that'd be really fucking good. And like Hoodie Fletch. Bring back Hoodie Fletch. It's gotta be Hoodie Fletch. Hoodie Fletch was fucking super over, comes out, and that was the Hollywood Undead era. Fletch was fucking on it. I love that Fletch from that era, always doing the pain and agonies, truth and consequences. You combine Cynical with just all the stuff he could do for not even being a wrestling fan, which we've talked about quite a bit. You throw Tommy in there, which can work good with anybody. So I think Fletch, Cynical, Tommy the Man Merriman, triple threat street fight. And the caliber of the people in this match is so big it doesn't even need a title on the line. And I think it could be a main event like whereas like me and Brogan were the main event of Summer Mania, there was no title on the line. I think this would be above that. But that would be my answer.
Hey, it sounds interesting to me.
Is there a chance we could see Tylor Skaggs back in XCW somehow? Obviously, you mentioned you cannot commit to any type of schedule with your work, which is very important work. We have the ability of dark matches. We have the abilities of ground zeros. We have the ability to go out in the fucking garage right now. We could shoot a fucking dark match. I got as of this recording, I got a dark match coming up with the Monster Jacoby next Sunday as we record this episode.
My money's on him.
I mean, he is trained by Moi. Is there a chance we see Tylor fucking Skaggs potentially wrestle another match in XCW? Whether it be a dark match, a ground zero, another Extreme King appearance.
There's a chance.
None of those require consistent schedule.
No. And that's why there is a chance. As long as I don't have to commit to a long storyline where I have to show up every time and nobody else is going to be hurt if I don't show up, if something happens.
Ground zeros, dark matches, nothing to do with storyline purposes. Even though someone in XCW has to win 99% of their dark matches, we know who I'm talking about. I think that would be something good for the fans at some point if we could get a Tylor Skaggs dark match or whatever. Who do you feel should be in XCW Hall of Fame? And I know you don't know who all is in the Hall of Fame, but in your opinion, you know people in XCW, Fletch, obviously myself, we're in the Hall of Fame, but people that wrestle here. And even if you say somebody's already in the Hall of Fame, it doesn't matter. But who do you think would deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? And do you think yourself at some point deserves to be in the Hall of Fame?
I haven't wrestled enough to deserve it now. You have the obvious ones, you, Roddy, Fletch, Tommy, Hobbs, Andy probably.
I think all those are Hall of Fame people. So you have good selections. So, and as for, I want to retort to not wrestling very much. Sometimes people can make it into a Hall of Fame without wrestling that much, or without wrestling at all. There's multiple Hall of Fame wings. There's multiple. We also have. I don't know if the name has changed recently, but we have the Honor Award. Just different people that served in the military, do important things outside XCW. It's not necessarily something that has to revolve around XCW. So there's a potential at some point for something you could be in the Hall of Fame. I've always been pushing for Justin Parsley. Justin Parsley has not wrestled once in XCW, but Justin Parsley has had a giant influence on the backyard wrestling world in Shelbyville, Indiana. If it wasn't for Justin Parsley, I wouldn't have met Fletch. If it wasn't for Justin Parsley, I wouldn't have met Genocide. Genocide wouldn't have met Fletch. There's just so many different dynamics that Justin Parsley's had his fingertips in. I feel he is important enough and should be in the Hall of Fame. Is he right now? No. Will he be in the future? I believe he will. So, there's different avenues to get to the Hall of Fame. If you could pick your ideal wrestling match in XCW to watch, who would you put in that match? Same question you did me. I don't even have this on my fucking question list.
You and Tommy, because the way that everything went in that ladder match went well and was saved off of you two a couple of times. I like Brogan a lot, so we'll throw Brogan in there.
He's a good nature.
And you know what? Actually, I want to be in the match with Stickle because I always wanted to wrestle
with Stickle.
Yes.
That is, I don't think in the history of No False Finish have we had somebody that said they wanted to be in a match with Stickle. So that's interesting. Why Stickle?
Me and Stickle been we've been pretty alright, pretty tight since high school. And while once the ring was set up, whenever I was there, he'd be like, "Hey, look at this thing. It's really cool." Kind of like what you did with me all the time. "Look at this. This is really cool. You want to do it?" And it's like, "Yeah, let's try it." So we try it. It goes well. It's like, "All right, that was cool." And he'll come with something else the next time, and something else the next time. So do Tommy, you, me, Stickle, and we'll do another ladder match because
Redemption for the last one.
I just hope it's as fun as the last one.
I bet Brian Wolf would show up not on time,
but he doesn't show up at all.
As we are coming to the end of the show, I got one or two more questions. Would you recommend XCW to someone that is particularly interested in wrestling, whether it be wrestler, announcer, camera person, anybody that's interested in potential wrestling? Would you recommend them to XCW?
Yeah. Yeah. The group of guys here are pretty helpful and good. So the environment's nice and is, to say, beginner friendly for somebody who's getting in. So yeah, I don't see why not.
And I believe we're going to end with that. I would like to say something about Tylor Skaggs, and I think the cameraman could agree. Tylor Skaggs is probably the world champion that never was. Like, I feel like if you were able, like you said, you do a very important job, so like your schedule, but like if you had the ability, I think you would have been a world champion at some point. That's why I say world champion that never was.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you for being on episode 10, season 5, and No False Finish. Somehow, I keep reaching and pulling them out of the woodwork, pulling those guests, scratching and clawing. And we have been renewed for season 6 of No False Finish. And I'm going to try to pull out all the stops for this season because it could be the final season. So I hope you stay tuned and check out future seasons of No False Finish. I want to thank you for being on the show, sir.
Yes, sir.
So that's it. Episode 10. I brought you Tylor fucking Skaggs. I brought you Void. ACT took over this season. You got the shoots from Chris and Fletch. We brought it to you this season. So that's it for season 5. Join us when we return for season 6.
Too many thoughts in my mind, I can't sleep at night, so I just keep writing. I don't need no help, I don't need opinions, so don't waste our time then. Killing the game and I gotta go ask anybody, they all heard about it. They know when the kid and he's spitting it, know when he getting it, bit and I get in my way. Got this, I like do whatever I say, cause I could go put you on blast. People been mad at me cause I don't follow them back. I'm laughing cause that is so whack. Why they all trying to act like they been bossing when really their boss has been bossing them up? Nobody ever been telling me what I would do when I keep in the cash for the shit out of luck. Ayy. It's funny how it goes, funny how it goes. Talking about shit they don't even know. Why they tryna tell me about what I should do? They don't know about the shit I've been through. It ain't what it seems, it ain't what it seems. Been 4 years, I've been chasing dreams. This ain't overnight, this ain't overnight. Working every night till the sunrise.